Barakatha Yahweh Barakatha, Yahweh Barakatha Yahweh Barakatha, Yahweh Bahasham, Rakakwadash, double honors to the apostles, the elders, salutations to you, sincere brothers, teaching in truth and sincerity. Lesson will be entitled, No Continuing City. Article entitled, What Happened to Mount Bayou, an all-black town founded by formerly enslaved black people. And for the record, these so-called black people were Israelites. Booker T. Washington once called Mount Bayou a model of thrift and self-government. He called it that for a good reason. Isaiah T. Montgomery and Benjamin T. Greene, formerly enslaved by Joseph Davis, the brother of Confederate President Jefferson Davis, founded Mount Bayou in 1887. Known as the Jewel of the Delta, it was incorporated in 1898. Mount Bayou is the oldest all-black municipality in the U.S. Montgomery and Greene purchased the 840-acre land for $7 per acre and put down $420. Historians say the men selected the area because the Louisville, New Orleans, and Texas line railroads ran through the center of the town so that it would attract more people. Mount Bayou measures less than a square mile in the Mississippi Delta, located approximately 150 miles north of Jackson. It was a bustling community of black-owned businesses and successful farms by 1900. Mississippi is known for its history of racial oppression. It's also known currently for its highest poverty rate in the country and low quality of education. Still, it's also known for its essential African American history found in places like Mount Bayou. It was one of the first settlements by free people exclusively for African Americans. In its prime, Mount Bayou had successful black schools, three cotton gins, a library, a bank, a sawmill, a post office, churches, and so much more. School was tough. All the teachers wanted you to do well, and they helped you, a former resident told the Mississippi Center for Investigative Reporting. Beyond its economic success, it played an essential role as a haven for black people at the height of racially motivated violence during the civil rights movement. Outside of the Mount Bayou bubble, black people were targeted, humiliated, attacked, and killed for their existence. In Mount Bayou, black people sought refuge from this violence. Life in the early days, inpatient care was non existent for African Americans in most places in the U.S. pre-antebellum and post-antebellum, especially in Mississippi. All that changed when the most famous black-owned hospital, Taborian Hospital, was established in 1938. Perry M. Smith is known as the founding father of the hospital. Historians say Smith was inspired after being assaulted by staff at a white-owned hospital just years before. He had taken one of his children to a white hospital, entering through the back door. He had waited in vain for a doctor, and eventually he left said University of Alabama historian David Beato. Smith took his child to the Afro American Sons and Daughters Hospital in Yazoo City, Mississippi, Slovakia, where Beato says he entered through the front door and was treated with courtesy and respect. His experience prompted him to organize the Knights and Daughters of Tabor, a large fraternal group where he served as the grand mentor of the Taborians to start the hospital. Taborian Hospital opened in 1942. It was a modern facility with two large operating rooms, an x-ray room, a sterilizer, an incubator, a blood bank, and a laboratory. The hospital in town employed black surgeons, doctors, and nurses. Dr. T.R.M. Howard was the chief surgeon and medical director of the hospital. Life in Mount Bayou today. Even with its success, the town faced some economic challenges. In the 1900s, black farmers were prominent. Two-thirds of landowners were also black farmers. That all changed by the 1920s. The number of black farmers declined due to high debt and agricultural problems. Another blow happened in the early 1940s where a fire broke out, destroying the business district in the town. And how much you want to bet Esau did this, so-called white people. In 2018, the Mississippi Supreme Court filed an order to close the town's high school just 2 days before school started. The decision came months after Mount Bayou residents filed an injunction to stop the district from consolidating schools. Residents fighting for John F. Kennedy High School to stay open say the school is pivotal in African American history. It's still a predominantly black town today, but only a few stores and jobs remain. Which brings me to Hebrews 13 and 14. For here we have no continuing city, case in point, Mount Bayou, but we seek one to come, continuing, right? According to the Greek,
Strong's G 3306, Mano, Mano.
to remain, abide, okay? To be held, kept, continually, permanent. So although Mount Bayou physically exists, however, it's nowhere near the status it once was. Remember, Booker T. Washington stated, Mount Bayou a model of thrift and self-government. It's not like that now. It was once identified as the jewel of the Delta. It was one of the first settlements by free people exclusively for African Americans. In its prime, Mount Bayou had successful black schools, 3 cotton gins, a library, a bank, a sawmill, a post office, churches, and hospitals. The article stated in its prime. Prime goes into what? Peak. And peak means what? Your sharpest point. So when Mount Bayou was in its prime, it was thriving, okay, on all cylinders. But now, in its present state, even with its success, the town faced some economic challenges. In the 1900s, black farmers were prominent. Two-thirds of landowners were also black farmers. That all changed by the 1920s. We have no continuing city. The number of black farmers declined due to high debt and agricultural problems. Another blow happened in the early 1940s when a fire broke out, destroying the business district in the town. In 2018, the Mississippi Supreme Court filed an order to close the town's high school just 2 days before school started. The decision came months after Mount Bayou residents filed an injunction to stop the district from consolidating schools. Right? Residents fighting for John F. Kennedy High School to stay open say the school is pivotal in African American history. It's still a predominantly black town today, but only a few stores and jobs remain, which further proves what? Hebrews 13 and 14. For here have we no continuous city. In America, we have no continuous city such as Mount Bayou, but we seek one to come, the kingdom of heaven. And let's read this in the NLT. For this world is not our permanent home. We are looking forward to a home yet to come. And that home yet to come is what? When Yahweh Shai reestablish the kingdom of heaven. Okay? Deuteronomy 28 and 15, but it shall come to pass if you will not listen unto the voice of Yahweh your power to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command you this day, that all these curses, indignation, which means righteous anger, shall come on you and overtake you. Verse 16, curse shall you be in the city, and cursed shall you be in the field. Now, the field is a representation, right, for the world. However, the city, we can affiliate the term town with the city, right? So, according to the Hebrew for town, Strong's H 5892, pronounced as IER, from right to left, right? And it means city, town. And town is defined as, according to the New Oxford American Dictionary, an urban area that has a name, defined boundaries, and local government, and that is generally larger than a village and smaller than a city. So the reason why we have no continuing city here is because of the curses. Okay? The reason why Mount Bayou is out of its prime and no longer thriving is because of the curses. Okay? Which further proves, last precept, Isaiah 55 and 11. So shall my word be that go forth out of my mouth, such as no continuing city. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing where I sent it. Lord, will you edify? Shalom.